it's like replaying in my head, and I'm like, there is so many controversial things that happen. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Pass the Popcorn. I am so excited for today's video. I'm like kind of getting giddy about it. I am like so excited to deep dive into this. Today we are ranking Rory Gilmore's boyfriends that she has in the TV show Gilmore Girls. One of my favorite TV shows, and I did discover it a lot later. In fact, there's a video you can go watch on my channel. I will link it somewhere on the screen for you to watch. Deep diving into all of my thoughts watching Gilmore Girls for the first time. I just watched it last year for the first time. I am currently rewatching it, but I am catching up on the infamous debate of Dean versus Jess versus Logan. And I have many thoughts. So let's dive into the 3 different guys Rory dated, why they deserved a lot better than what she gave them, and overall, who was the best? Who was the most compatible with Rory? So this is just my personal ranking of Rory's boyfriends and who I like the most. Everyone has very different taste and different opinions on this. This is like, I would say, one of the hottest debates in like TV culture. It's like this and like, were Ross and Rachel on a break? like those are like 2 very hot debates in TV culture, and I always see people debating Logan, Dean, or Jess, like who is the best out of them. And it can get very heated. People are very strongly opinionated, including myself. So just know this is just my ranking. I'd love to know your ranking. Drop it in the comments and we can have a nice lively discussion about it and fangirl and lovingly hate on our least and favorites. So least favorites and favorites. All right, without further ado, let's start with number 3. Now, ranked worst out of the 3 men, so coming in at number 3 is Jess Mariano. So controversial. I can just feel the hate I'm getting for saying this. Jess is just not my favorite. So who is Jess? Jess is the brooding bad boy of the series. He is very intellectually connected to Rory, and I feel like they're very compatible in that way. He is a reader. He's kind of like a closeted intellectual. He does not show that side of him except for to Rory. So they kind of bond over books and authors and music and things. But he really does not apply himself in life. He could do a lot better in everything that he does. And I feel like that's Rory calls him out on that very early on in season 2. But then he has this other side of him where he is the crappiest communicator ever and can never really be vulnerable or admit his feelings. And granted, he has had a very difficult childhood. So I won't knock him down for that, because his upbringing is definitely what made him this way. I'm sure he kind of retreated into books as a safe place for him because his mother is not very stable. I mean, he comes to live with Luke in his teen years because his mom just didn't want him. Really sad. Jess, I'm sure there's a lot of childhood to unpack there that we don't even know. The poor kid has never really felt wanted. I'm sure that's what has made him a terrible communicator, and he has some issues trusting and being vulnerable. But we have to take him with what he is, right? And that's who he is, and that's not great in relationships. So he's terrible at communicating with Rory, and kind of the only way he knows how to pursue her is to bug her. Very kindergarten, elementary school. There's the episode where he brings over the food from Luke's when Lorelai's out of town and stays, and she keeps trying to get him out of the house, and he's just kind of annoying her. He's not great at flirting with her. He has the bad boy persona, and that's teasing, making fun of, and bugging her. That's the only way he knows how to get close to Rory. So why is he last on my list? Honestly, there are so many reasons. Number 1 is I just can't stand him. He bugs me so bad that he has this attitude of I don't care, I'm too cool for everything. And I'm kind of hey, PSA teenagers, being too cool is not cool. Like, the cool thing to do in life is to like invest and love your thing and like support one another and have fun with life. Like, that's cool. Not cool is being too cool to like anything. So I just can't stand that about him. He's also extremely disrespectful to Lorelai. They can never get on the same page, and he's super disrespectful to Luke. I know he has like a soft spot for Luke, and he does appreciate that Luke takes care of him, but I'm like, you don't mess with my boy Luke. Like, Luke is doing everything for you, putting his back out to like put you up in this town where everyone hates Jess, so they're hating Luke in return. He's getting all this flack, and Jess could care less. Oh, it just drives me insane. So he is very emotionally immature, and again, that comes back to, I think he has a lot of trust issues, a difficult childhood, really struggles with being vulnerable, and he just didn't get like the emotional development he needed in childhood to be able to apply that to his adult relationships. So he's just very emotionally immature, which is hard for me. He also like completely disappears when things get hard. I mean, he gets in the car accident with Rory and he's not even at the hospital with her. He's like in the middle of the woods and Luke has to go find him. And then when he leaves town, he doesn't say goodbye to Rory. And then obviously she goes to New York to like see him. Oh, don't even get me started on that. That made me so mad. Misses Lorelai's graduation to go see freaking Jess in New York. So mad. So mad. And that was such a huge moment for Lorelai. And I know Rory felt bad, but I'm like, she felt bad for the wrong reasons. Like, yes, she felt bad that she missed it, but at the same time, she's having little to no guilt for how she's treating Dean in all of these scenarios, and we will get there. But anyways, so he disappears when things get really difficult. Again, coming back to like the emotional immaturity, is he hasn't really learned how to like cope with feelings or deal with hard things in life. So sad. Jess obviously has a lot of issues. I will acknowledge he gets a glow up. And people kept telling me when I was watching Gilmore Girls for the first time, I was posting on my stories like live updates as I would get to episodes that were like big milestones. And granted, I had no spoilers for this show, so it was really fun to watch for the first time because I had no idea what was coming and everything was a surprise. So people kept telling me, I kept posting like, I can't stand Jess, he's this bad boy. And people kept responding to my stories and saying, oh, he gets so much better, like, just wait. And I was like, this boy must come back. And I was like, he must come back and date Rory. He does not come back and date Rory, which I was so shocked about. He does show up to, like, visit Rory later on when she's dating Logan. And he calls her out in her dark era. I call it Rory's dark era. And he calls her out and he has the iconic line of, why did you drop out of Yale?
What's going on with you?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Living at your grandparents' place, being in the DAR, no Yale. Why did you drop out of Yale?
And I love that. He really needed to put her in her place. She needed it in that time, and I don't think she was listening to very many other people in her life. And so Jess coming in and kind of giving her that kick in the pants she really needed was really good. However, they're like, Rory and Jess's magnetism to each other is like incomprehensible. Like, they are just so magnetized to each other. Every time she is in a stable relationship, she somehow still wants Jess, and I don't understand it. But he doesn't give her a lot of like foundation to want him. He's not giving her anything in return. She just likes this mysterious, like, brooding energy that he has. But he doesn't give her anything. Like, he brings nothing to the table for Rory. I feel like I'm shredding Jess apart right now, and I really am not meaning to, because he's not the worst. I just don't, I don't love him. And he's definitely not who, like, I would pick. So, alright. So that's my review on Jess Mariano. He comes in third amongst these men. And coming in at number 2 is Dean. I love Dean, and this is such an unpopular opinion. Even after like what happens in season 4. Oh, it's so heartbreaking. But I still like love and adore him, and I still think he was a fantastic boyfriend to Rory seasons 1 through 3.5. I just thought he was great. He was awesome. He's her first love, small town boy, and he's just very charming. He has a lot of like amazing things going for him. One is that I do feel like he just gets Rory and Lorelai. Like he gets their relationship, never tries to come in between that. And I just feel like he understands them in a way that I don't know a lot of other men have really understood them on this show in that way, besides Luke. So yeah, I just loved Dean at this time for Rory and Lorelai. He was very stable for her. And man, he was a chaser. Like he chased Rory through all the seasons, and she really never gave him anything. That's actually probably why she loved Jess so much, is Jess never chased her. And so I think she liked the chase of trying to chase Jess, where Dean came on a little bit stronger to her, and that really turned her off. Me personally, I would have loved that. That's just my personality, but that's obviously not Rory's. He also, like, can we talk about how he like built Rory a car? Like a car, not a bicycle or a motorcycle. Like he built her a car. Wild. Anyways, and then he admits he loves her, and she shuts down. She kind of has the emotional maturity of Jess. That's so mean. If you can't tell, Rory is not my favorite character on Gilmore Girls. Personally, I don't think she was good enough for any of these men. And she honestly at times treated all of them like garbage. So I struggle with feeling like I can totally support her in any of these relationships, because yeah. So my ranking is probably affected a lot by the way she treated them as well, because like justice for Dean. Like Dean, the poor man, she cheated on him. She kisses Jess at Suki's wedding while they are dating. He is completely clued into the fact that she is chasing Jess and likes him, but he still is trying to like work it out, stick it through, and show her how committed he is to her, and she's just not having any of it. When she goes to Washington for the summer, when her and Paris get elected student body president and vice president, Dean writes her. There's a stack of letters that he's written to her. She obviously has not written back, and then it shows a piece of paper that she's trying to write a letter to Jess. I was like, oh my gosh, just this boy deserved so much better. And then when he tells her that he loves her, she completely shuts down, understandably so. She has seen her mom in not so great relationships, and I don't think she really understands what love is. But then the whole town of Stars Hollow rallies around her for not even knowing what happened when she's completely in the wrong. Dean is not in the wrong. They really like reject Dean. And finally the truth comes to light, and then we have the iconic moment of, "I love you, you idiot," right?
Because I love you, you idiot.
And then they kiss, and it's such a great moment between them. Now I will say he was a very supportive boyfriend until he wasn't. Like he was very supportive, loved her, and was very supportive of her schoolwork and things, but then at times he could be very possessive of her and jealous, and came on really strong. But they were in high school, right? He was just a little bit immature. And she did him dirty too. Like they both like were not great to each other at times, but overall I feel like their relationship was healthier than Jess and hers. Now, the second time him and Rory dated was heartbreaking, and that is like I cannot condone this. So he gets married, even though the night before his wedding he is like yearning for Rory, and Luke hears this, which Luke I think may have had a responsibility to talk to Dean about this, but he didn't. Anyways, so he gets married to Lindsay, and Rory watches, and that moment is so heartbreaking to have her watching him and Lindsay come out of the church on their wedding day. So heartbreaking. Well, fast forward a little bit. He is working on the inn that Lorelai is opening. He's doing construction, and him and Rory end up coming in contact with one another, and he has to deliver something to her college apartment, and there's like a lot of other little like moments where they run into each other. Well, they start flirting, and there's the episode where they're like texting each other. They meet up in secret in Stars Hollow, and she gets like stood up at a bar, I think. Not stood up. She was on a terrible date at a bar, and she calls Dean to come get her. Oh, it's just so bad. Like, you're watching all of these little stepping stones leading up to the season 4 finale, and it's just not going in a good direction. Like, he's married, and he's meeting up with Rory. She's flirting with him. And honestly, they are completely both at fault here, but Rory was single at this time, and she knew he was married, and I do feel like she kind of was taking advantage of like her want for him and feeling like, well, I'm single and I want him, so I should be allowed to do this. And if he doesn't want me, he's the married one, so he should be the one to stop anything. And yes, that's true, but at the same time, don't flirt with a married man. You don't flirt with a married man. Like, he's a boy. Anyways. So he could have stopped it at any time. So they are completely both at fault, but I do feel like she took advantage of a little bit of her wanting and was very selfish in this, of feeling like, I don't need to protect their relationship or their marriage because he's what I want. Which, can we talk about, Rory only ever wants what she can't have, and it is absolutely infuriating. I don't understand where this complex comes in her mind, because like Lorelai never restricted anything from her, so she shouldn't have this like desire to just want what she can't have. Anyway, she always wants what she can't have. Dean is what she can't have in season 4, and so she just wants him, which she could have wanted him season 2 through 3. They could have never broken up. That could have been her and Dean's wedding. But no. So anyways, climax at season 4, the finale. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Dean tells Rory that him and Lindsay are really struggling, and it's over, it's done. I think him and Lindsay like had a fight that night where he thinks they've broken up, and he comes over to the Gilmore house, and him and Rory sleep together, and then Lorelai comes home and sees Rory and Dean come out of the bedroom and knows what's happened, and really lays it on Rory of being very upset with her. And Rory's argument is, it's Dean, it's my Dean, like, I love him, he said the marriage is over, right? And Lorelai's like, well, did he say he's gonna leave her because they're still married? Well, no, he didn't say that. He had no intention of leaving Lindsay. So it's just really sad. It's a very, very sad culmination, because you see how happy they are in the moment, and then like reality really hits them of what they just did, and it's so upsetting. And then they try to make it work, but the town knows, and they're all kind of, it's just a very bad situation, and so you're not really rooting for it to work out. And like Dean's family's heartbroken because he's made a huge mistake, and so has Rory. Rory is a homewrecker, and it's just very, very sad. So he has to come in number 2 on this list, because like that absolutely tainted my view of him. I don't think he's the only one at fault, but it's just a very, very sad, it's a very sad arc for both of them. Anyways, but justice for Dean in season 1, 2, and 3. Anyways, if you want to, actually, I have a lot of thoughts, I think, in my, the first time I watched Gilmore Girls video. Again, I will link it at the end of this video in the description, and I'll pop a link up here for you if you want to watch it. But that brings us to number 1. I love him. Logan freaking Huntsberger. He is amazing. I literally love him so much. So let's talk about Logan. He is the charming, confident, absolutely chaotic young man that Rory meets at Yale. And specifically, there is the episode that I know is like a fan favorite, and that is the In Omnia Paratus episode, where she's doing a piece for the Yale newspaper about this like secret society group at the college, and he is leading that, and then they like kidnap her. That makes it sound bad. They like jokingly kidnap her to take her to one of their events so she can like write about it, and he kind of takes her under his wing, and they have the iconic moment of "you jump, I jump, Jack." He really charms her and woos her from the beginning. That's not their meet cute. Their meet cute is like they meet in the hallway at Yale. He calls her Ace. He calls her Ace. Why did I forget that? So I would definitely consider them enemies to lovers, because she's not like immediately taken by him, but then in this In Omnia Paratus episode, she is like falling for him. I think she wants like the danger. She just likes when they're very exciting, and I think Logan is very exciting to her. This is also her longest relationship on the show. I don't know if I would count Dean as the longest because they run for like 2.5 seasons, and then I know they try it again, but it was very short. But I think Logan is her longest consistent relationship for the last 3 seasons of the show. And I literally love him so much, and I love them together. They grew a lot during their relationship, and Logan loved her like when she was at her peak in college to being at her lowest low living with her grandparents and not in college, and then loving her again when she kind of picks herself back up again and gets into her normal routine. So I just love that he like allowed that growth to happen with her, but he was like, I'm not going anywhere. I will be right here with you. And there's that Ben Platt song that's like grow as we go. Like that was Logan in this situation. I love that he like challenged Rory, but he also supported her goals a lot. They had a lot of common interests, and man, they were just very compatible together. I feel like he really kind of brought out a side of her that she really liked in herself. And the boy was whipped for Rory. Like, he integrated her into his life fully, completely changed his life, because let's be honest, he was a complete playboy before he met Rory, and he falls in love with her and he totally changes his ways. And for her, like, he just loved her so much. Logan is also the only boy that she dates that actually like really matches her ambition. Rory has incredible ambition and career goals, college goals, education goals, like all these things. And Logan is the same way, where Dean, I don't think really wanted to go to college, and Jess didn't even want to like get up for the day. But Logan really loved like her goals, his goals. They had great ambition together, and I feel like they really supported one another in that. Specifically, like when they're living together, I think in season 7, he's off like taking over his dad's company. She was working on graduating from Yale and applying to different newspapers and things, and they are just like on fire as a couple, supporting one another and like helping each other grow. And it was just so healthy to see them support each other in that way, but also make their relationship work and prioritize it, which is why I don't understand why she does not accept an engagement from him, because their whole relationship was proving that they can have careers and a relationship that's super healthy. I think that if Rory would not have talked to Paris like 2 days before Logan proposed, I think she would have said yes, but Paris got in her head, and I think it swayed her and planted too much fear. That is something about Rory. We're going to do a deep dive into Rory's character, but she is very impressionable. So I feel like she is a sponge. She absorbs like everyone's opinions and behaviors, antics, things around her. So whoever she is around, she's like absorbing who they are and kind of applying it to herself. And it's kind of dangerous. Like, she really has to be careful of who she's with, because she will become just like them. Paris gets in her head, and I think she would have said yes to Logan had she not talked to Paris. Oh, it's so sad. Logan just gave her like such a confidence in herself that I think she really needed, especially after the whole like Mitchum tragedy, which shouldn't have been a thing. Like, come on, Rory. It's one guy's opinion. She literally let it like derail her life. her life. Like, I can understand letting it affect you for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know. Like, yes, that's a hard blow, but you don't know this guy super well. And actually, I can hear people probably yelling at the screen. It could have been her father-in-law. Yes, it could have been her father-in-law. I get it. It was a hard critique to get, that she wasn't cut out for the business. But I wish she could have let that like motivate her to be like, no, I'm gonna prove him wrong. And eventually it does, after she whines about it for a year in her grandparents' pool house and joins the DAR society. I just can't believe that she like let it derail her life like that much. That's off the subject. Anyways, and one of my favorite episodes too is like, obviously Logan had a lot of money, and I think a lot of people have judged him for that, especially Luke in the Martha's Vineyard episode. Especially Luke in the Martha's Vineyard episode. Logan gives Luke that gift to give to Lorelai because he forgot a gift for her that weekend, and he was like super nonchalant about it, was totally fine with it, totally like gave Luke all the credit. He's like, Logan's just very sweet. I feel like he's just always looking out for people around him, especially if they matter to Rory. He was like, yes, I will do anything for you. And Lorelai is super harsh on Logan in the beginning because he comes from rich boy society and she grew up in that, but he really proves to her like, no, that's not who I am, and that's not what I'm gonna do to Rory. That's not why I'm here to change her. Like I will change your opinion of me. And he totally does. Like, Lorelai totally comes around. Man, he was just so good. So I will say a lot of people's criticism of Logan is that the Life and Death of Brigade was really dangerous and gave like trust fund kids having a good time blowing parents' money. And yes, it did. Honestly, he grew into someone who chose Rory, and she needed that. I don't know if Dean or Jess ever really chose her. And Logan chose her over and over and over again. Honestly, that's like what matters the most about him. So that is my final ranking for Rory's boyfriends. Logan was the partner, Dean was the first love, and Jess was the poetic disaster. All right, so did I just ruin your childhood? Or did I confirm all the opinions you've had for years? I don't know. Either way, I want to hear what you think. Do you agree with my ranking of these boyfriends that Rory had? Do you think she should have accepted Logan's proposal? Or do you think she should have stayed with one or the other, Dean or Jess? I really want to know. Lively, positive debate in the comments, please. So, if you want to try to convince me Jess is better, go right ahead. Because maybe I'm forgetting things, but rewatching it, I'm in my second rewatch and I'm like, he's still not my fave. Or was Logan not as great as I thought he was? I don't know. Let's talk. Anyways, please like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram at PassThePopcornLizzie. And we have a lot more Gilmore Girls videos coming. Let me know what you want to see first. Do you want to see ranking Lorelai's boyfriends? A deep dive into Rory or Lorelai's characters? Or I have another video idea of ranking and deep diving into the toxic characters on Gilmore Girls. So what do you want to see first? Let me know. But thank you so much for being here. We are officially on the road to 100 subscribers, and I'm still trying to brainstorm what I want to do when I get 100 subscribers. I think I have an idea, and I will announce it in next week's video. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. And if you want to watch my Gilmore Girls review, I will put it right here. But thank you so much, and I will see you next week.